Hey everyone, good afternoon. I'm Stacy Spivey with Eric Chilton and Lauren Coleman.
We're all here. Can you tell it's Friday?
We're all in a good mood.
The energy level up here. Yeah, welcome to all of you watching us right here on WFMI News 2. Don't forget Fire Stick, Roku, and you can watch us on our app too, the News 2 app. That'll be for your TV, phone, or tablet.
Well, before we get started on this Friday, we want to draw your attention to our QR code at the bottom right hand of your screen. If you scan this code, we'll link you to available COVID vaccine appointments for children. There it is, right there.
Yeah, right there. To scan that code, all you have to do is open the camera on your phone, hover over the code, and when you do that, a link should pop up on the screen that you can click on to get that information. We're going to keep this up for the next 10 minutes, so you have plenty of time to get that link.
Lots of news today, including demolition of Peeler Elementary School continues today. The school was set to be torn down next year, but a fire last month fast-tracked that plan.
Police call the library fire arson, but have not made an arrest in this case. The school was abandoned at the time of the fire, which caused extensive damage to the structure. There's no word yet on the cause, but officials say there's extensive damage inside. Officials say the demolition should take 12 weeks. The site will have new purpose once the demo is complete.
So the new school is our new visual and performing arts school. We are working with our design teams now in our schematic design process. We will be unveiling some schematic designs to the community in February timeframe. The actual building is slated to open in 2024.
The school has been vacant since it was damaged by a tornado in April 2018. It was one of 3 schools damaged by the storm, along with Irwin Montessori and Hampton Elementary. Peeler and Hampton Elementary schools will be combined into a visual performing arts school. The Irwin Montessori program will move to Archer Elementary School.
Peeler's transformation is part of a $2 billion master plan to renovate and repair older schools in the Guilford County District. Guilford County Commissioners voted to approve the district's most recent request for a $1.7 billion bond package to further advance that project. That means on March's ballot, Guilford County voters will be asked to approve or deny the referendum. Voters approved a smaller bond last year, amounting in $300 million. If voters pass this new referendum, the extra $1.7 billion will be used as part of the master plan.
Rockingham County Schools received praise for its mental health program. The North Carolina Department of Public Instruction asked leaders from the district to present their Project Aware program, which focuses on mental health, social and emotional well-being. School leaders presented that model to state leaders. In Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, students will get next Friday off for a mental health wellness day. The Board of Education approved closing schools on November 12th so students and staff can focus on mental health. The district is encouraging everyone to practice acts of kindness as part of their assignment for the day. Students will be sent home with a meal on Wednesday before students leave for the rest of the week. The district also partnered with local child care centers to offer free child care during that day. Parents can get a list of child care facilities offering free help by visiting the school's website.
Guilford County students will learn remotely the 2 days leading up to Thanksgiving break to give their students and staff a mental health break as well. Guilford County students and schools and students need to log into their courses from home to complete missing work on November 22nd and 23rd. There will be no live instruction those days. This means students will be home the entire Thanksgiving week because Wednesday through Friday are days off for break. GCS leaders made the decision after hearing about high levels of stress among students, staff, and families.
All right, so with that, I asked my Facebook followers what they thought about this, and here's what they had to say. Lots of different opinions on this one. Zane Cooper says, don't like it. I may be in the less favored tier here, but I've noticed, at least with our daughter, she does a lot better with in-person instruction. It's difficult for her to learn with remote learning. Salita says, I think it's a great idea unless you are scheduled to work those days, and then you have to make arrangements for childcare. She said it's super difficult for folks to request off around the holidays, especially with little notice. Darlene says, I understand the teachers need a break, but hard on the working parents to arrange childcare. And Lynn says, I think school boards have realized that they can leave the kids at home when they want a day off, but they're underfunded, so it's hard to argue with that. And Christine says, just give them the whole week off. Both students and teachers could use the break. Janice says, not really a fan of it, not much warning to get babysitters and make arrangements for work for many people there. So obviously it is kind of the, do you have built-in care for your child, and then it's not that big a deal, but if you don't, you got to scramble to get daycare or whatever, then yeah, that's something.
I've always thought that Thanksgiving break should be a complete week so you can actually have that real break. And I like the idea that they're bringing this attention to the mental health awareness, but it's just really not enough time for parents if they're not providing some type of support for the kids, like a YMCA program or something at the school. So maybe this will set the groundwork for future years, making this a mental health week, or maybe they could have held off to like maybe January or something. I just don't think it's really fair if you're not providing an option for parents to just be like, hey, there's no school and figure it out on your own.
Make it a thing where at the beginning of the year it's in the calendar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because to kind of spring it on parents, I know that that's difficult to make sure they find childcare in that short period of time. However, I do think that teachers need a break. Kids need a break. I totally understand that. I like what Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools did. They planned that mental health day, and then they found free childcare options for their students.
Yeah, because you have the little ones that can't stay home. You know, maybe when you're like 6th grade or 5th grade, you can get the house key and stay at home for a couple hours. But if you have kids in like kindergarten,
you have
preschool,
to
1st grade, you can't leave them at home.
No, and it is, I will say this, that at least they're doing this much, which I like. You only have instruction, it's only there for you to make up work that you're behind on. So if you can get your kids caught up, that week before, then they really don't have to, they won't have in-person instruction.
So the big takeaway, hopefully there's some more planning in the future.
Yeah,
but good that they all get a little bit of a break.
It is.
Absolutely.
We can all use a break. I wouldn't mind having the week of Thanksgiving off, right? Here, I'm going to grab my remote control while we talk about a forecast here. So just letting you know that this is kind of the situation that we're looking at with temperatures right now. Obviously, it was cold, wasn't it, as we went into last night. Same story tonight, not as cold as last night, though. We're looking at these numbers, 51 degrees in Lexington. You see 50 in Asheboro, 51 Greensboro. I mean, remember, our normal temperature should be in the 60s, so we're way below normal right now. Winds, it's a little bit of insult to injury because we're going to be windy heading into your Saturday. I think the winds will pick up. There's a low off the coast that'll help with that wind gradient and kind of pick things up. A windy, variably cloudy, maybe a sprinkle in the eastern Piedmont on Saturday, but it will be a little bit cool for us. Look at these overnight lows at 34. Last night we had some upper 20s, and we had that freeze warning in effect last night too, and we saw that. Some upper 20s to low 30s across the area. Last night about mid 30s tonight. Clouds will go on the increase tomorrow. There's that chilly, breezy forecast with a late day shower, and honestly we think that's more of an eastern thing. When you go out to a wide shot, you see why. This is a low pressure that'll work its way up the coast. Takes its time to do so, but it will be windy for us as a result of that, and some of that rain makes it far enough back into the west to bring us a shower or two. Here's your 7-day forecast. Don't forget, clocks go backwards an hour Saturday night. The high tomorrow, 53. Sunday, we start to warm up a little bit, 60, and then sunny for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, upper 60s, low 70s. That's not bad. Heading into Thursday, and you can see there that high of 70 degrees, Veterans Day, and then about 68 as we head into Friday of next week with a rain chance slipping in again.
A memorial service for Colin Powell, the retired Army general and former Secretary of State who died in October, happened earlier this afternoon. Powell died of complications from COVID-19. He was 84 years old. Powell was vaccinated, but he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a blood cancer that put him at high risk of catching COVID. A number of former presidents and other leaders attended his service today.
But over the past quarter century, we also became very close friends, an experience I know that I have in common with many of you. The reason is that beneath that glossy exterior of warrior statesman was one of the gentlest and most decent people any of us will ever meet.
Certainly was a beautiful service. Powell served in the Army for 35 years and was Secretary of State under President George W. Bush. We'll be right back.
We're getting an extra hour of sleep this weekend as we fall back an hour with daylight saving time ending. Even though we are thankful for that extra rest, medical professionals say it can still throw off our sleep patterns. Patty Williams is a family nurse practitioner with Novant Health. She says it can actually take 1 to 2 weeks for our bodies to recover from that 1 hour change. It's because it affects our circadian rhythm, which is our natural sleep patterns. She suggests being preventative by going to bed 15 minutes later tonight and waking up 15 minutes later tomorrow morning. This goes for the kiddos too. And once the clocks change, extra exposure to sunlight can really help.
We want to hibernate and we can't do that. So we got to get up and be active. Morning time's a good time, or even at lunchtime. Get outside in that sunlight.
Williams wants to remind everyone that you should aim to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night. Your kid needs about 10. Keep that bedtime consistent, drink plenty of water, and get moving out in the sunlight to fight off the grogginess next week.
Daylight saving time in the fall means it's going to be darker sooner for your evening commutes, and you'll have to deal with the sun glare in the mornings. Make sure your car's lights work properly, including emergency lights. Switch your lights to low beam when another car approaches you or passes you, and keep an eye out for bicyclists, pedestrians, and deer on the side of the roads.
Now, this is always a big talker out there, so we asked you on Facebook what you think we should do. Keep the time change once a year, stay in daylight saving time all year, which means it stays lighter later, or stay in standard time, which means it gets darker earlier. Janet says absolutely stay in daylight saving time. It makes no sense getting dark at 5:30 in the evening. Very depressing. I agree. Frida says she wants to stay in standard time year round. Scott says in part, honestly, the early darkness is quite depressing. Ask Alaskans who live in the dark nearly for 4 months in the winter. With that said, just leave it alone. Margaret writes, it doesn't matter to me which time, just leave it one way or the other. Helen thinks one or the other, leave it there. Shirley wants to keep daylight saving time, and Mark shares stay in standard time, please. I'm kind of with the people that say either way, just leave it. Just leave it.
I would like it to just be consistent as well, but I like the daylight saving time because I find myself not as motivated. Like when it gets dark a lot earlier, I don't want to run errands, or I feel like it's 9 o'clock at night.
It's true.
Yeah.
It makes you want to stay in.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, sun going down, time to nest at home. It doesn't really bother me that badly one way or the other. What bothers me is that half the time I forget which weekend it is.
Yes, you're like late for church or something.
Yeah,
you're like, wait, the service is almost over.
What just happened? Now I'm to this pattern now driving in that I know exactly where to put the sun visor on certain roads because the sun's going to be over here next and then there.
Yeah, and that really is a thing. I feel like in the last couple of days I've noticed multiple crashes back to back, and I feel like it's because that sun is glaring. I can barely see it. I'm like, this is probably how this happened.
Yeah.
So make sure you slow down if you
I
can't
do
see.
hate it though now when I get home. It's already really starting to get dark, and I'm like, I like it when it's still light outside because we can go for a walk, like a family walk together at night, and you just can't really do that. You got to do it as soon as you get home.
It's
really.
true.
Yeah.
You're like racing against the sun. But you're right, because that glare in the morning.
It's horrible.
You can't
Haven't you
see.
noticed it the
No,
last
that's
couple of
why
days?
Now I know which street to put it down before it gets bad each time.
I'm just like, I can't get away from it, but
we had, and I live along Highway 150 up in northern Guilford County, and there are stretches where it's really long. And when the sun sets, especially in the summertime, you can't see. There have been so many accidents of people that can't see where they're going.
back to back. It's like a chain reaction. I drove by 2 this week, and it was because of that same situation.
Okay, well, be careful out there.
That's right. Use the visor. It's what it's for. We'll be right back.
Ready or not, the holidays are here. Yeah, we are just, you see that, 20 days until Thanksgiving, 23 days until Hanukkah.
And even though it's cold out today, we're still about 46 days away from winter, 50 until Christmas. Can you believe that? I mean, 2022 is only 57 days away.
Can we fast forward, Jordan?
Here we go. Yes, the clock is ticking too fast in some cases. All right, so a lot of people wonder every year, when will Mix 99.5 switch over to all holiday music? Well, revelers, wait no more. It happened this morning, and they let me be a part of it. I chatted with Laura Songster this morning about the history behind this big event.
99.5, the Triad's Christmas station. Yes, we did it.
That says it all. So does this mask. I'm not sure what the mask says. I can't breathe through that thing. We're at Mix 99.5 Christmas headquarters, right? HQ. Laura Songster knows this better than anybody. You guys have been doing this how long now?
28 years that we've been doing wall to wall. Now, we had peppered some in prior to that, but yeah, 28 years and people counting down. They can't wait. We get calls starting in maybe October, early October. When are you starting? When are you starting?
We had the appropriate weather, I think, this morning
Oh, I know.
to kick off Christmas music, right? Frost was on the ground.
I don't think anybody does it as well as you guys do. And people call, even after it's been playing 3 or 4 weeks, they're still all into it, right?
Oh, they're into it, and they want it to continue through New Year's Day. It's really interesting. And what we found is we're one of the top iHeart stations for Christmas music. This part of the country loves its Christmas music, and especially in times of sadness, people just want to feel good. They want that nostalgia. They want to sing along and bring their kids in to what their life experience is.
That's really interesting because I felt that last year. I wanted it more than ever before because you felt like you needed to nest, right?
Yes, yes.
And this music is homey. It brings back memories too. Do people call with that? I'm sure they have memories.
Yes, and in fact, we're going to have a segment at 8 a.m. where people can call with their Christmas morning memories. And then we'll play the song that does it. And I know you said earlier which one it was for you.
Andy Williams. All the Andy Williams, the Happy Holidays, Most Wonderful Time of the Year, all that stuff.
The album with the red sweater?
Yes,
Yes!
that is it. See? Only Mrs. Claus knows.
Look at you having all the fun today.
It was so much fun.
So jealous.
They ask me to do this every year, and I have to keep it, hidden because there's a big contest. You win money if you predict the day and the time that they switch over.
you're gonna give me
I'm
those
not gonna
answers?
no.
You're not going to help me out?
Not going to help anybody out. No, they tell me every year. But I will say this, 28 years they've been doing this. It is an institution. They completely switch over to nothing but holiday music. And it's, Lauren and I were talking because she is new to the area, and I said, it's all genres, right? I mean, it's everything that you can think of. And they, people love it. They just eat it up.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before, so if you're having an event or something, you could just click to their station, just let it play all day long, and a little bit of something for everybody.
But the big question is it too early? What do you guys think?
So that's something she said. Some people will complain with them. We think it's too early. This is a few days earlier than when they did it last year. I can tell you that much. But she said, in fact, in the next half hour, we'll continue our interview with them. But she said that there's some music that people love and they hate, and sometimes the same song is on both lists. So we'll talk about that.
I think I can already think of some of those that are on
one,
there.
I guarantee.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, we're coming back. Take a break. Stay right there.
We're officially entering the season of holiday cheer, but here on the 4 to 5, we like to spread cheer all year long. WFNY News 2's Megan Malaris makes it her mission each week to find all the blessings bringing you joy.
Let's relax, refresh, and recharge as we head into the weekend. I know you're busy fixing dinner or making plans, but if you can take just the next couple of minutes to do a little reflection, it'll make a world of difference. I asked you on my Facebook page, Megan Malaris News, to tell me something good, big or small, that happened in your life recently. Donna woke up and found some beautiful deer outside of her front door. Maria had a scare with melanoma. Her first test came back positive, but an incision proved it was negative. Debbie cooked dinner for her 3 neighbors because she loves them and wanted to do something nice. They said it was good. Felicia drove to Tennessee and had lunch at her favorite restaurant with a great couple. Linda's mom turned 80 on October 27th. Grady celebrated a 40th anniversary. Lisa got her COVID-19 and booster shots. Faye celebrated her husband's 74th birthday and feels blessed and thankful. Eloise got to watch her grandbaby and loved it. Sandra reconnected with an old friend. And after a long time waiting at IVF, Catherine's daughter is going to have a baby.
She saved the best for last, didn't she?
Oh, baby fever.
Cool. All right, so what's good?
Well, my life wasn't too exciting this week, so I'm going to be ordering some food tonight.
You're going to stay in?
Chinese food or something.
Hey,
Yeah, so
Chinese is
that's
wonderful.
the highlight of my week.
What is it with us? It's always food with us. It's food and time off. That's all we're talking about.
We're food motivated people.
Life.
It's
That's
okay,
true.
yeah.
I guess mine is that we're having, I told Stacy about this a little while ago, we do once in a while a family movie night, and we throw blankets out on the living room floor and do like almost like charcuterie. It's just like things you can pick up and eat, like little meats and cheeses and crackers and nuts and fruit and stuff like that. And the little ones love it because they get to pick the movie. We watch the movie and eat off the floor.
That sounds better than Chinese food, so I might have to go to your house.
Yeah.
It's fine. You have to watch kids' movie though.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Honestly, I'm just happy I made it to Friday.
Stacy's had a rough
It's a rough week. Chilton every day was like, I can tell you've had a rough day when I say your name and you just slowly turn your
This
head.
is Stacy.
It's the that's it. That's it.
Giving the
It's
sharp eye.
It's the speed that's it. That is it right there.
I'm like, yeah.
It's a slow
I'm not
turn.
going to ask her any more questions today.
It's more of I'm too tired to respond
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Baylor hasn't slept too great, so I'm hoping she sleeps good tonight, and Mama's gonna sleep in tomorrow.
I told you what our recipe was. Take turns on nights. That really makes a big difference.
Might have to. I'm a little slow to everything this week. So
I'm gonna call Jake. We'll have a conversation. We'll be right back. We'll take a break.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together. What time do you want me out there, friend? Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah. Okay.
Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Eric Chilton and Stacy Spivey.
Yeah, Friday is for sure. Welcome to all of you watching from home, the 4 to 5 right here on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the News 2 app for your TV, phone, or tablet.
Eric, make sure you have some good news for us, right, for the weather?
Yeah, you don't want it to be as cold as last night, do you? That's what everybody's saying right now. I actually got some emails today saying we were in the upper 20s last night. That is exactly right. Some of you upper 20s, some up to about the freezing mark, but that freeze warning was warranted, that's for sure. All right, not as cold tonight. Let's talk about the forecast. These are forecasted overnight lows for tonight, mid-30s for the most part. We'll say mid to upper 30s. I mean, if you look at that overall, kind of an average across the area, it's mid to upper 30s. Head up to the north, though, Martinsville at 31, and then the higher elevations, Galax will be at 28. Wilkesboro probably right at the freezing mark, and Boone in the upper 20s as well. Current readings, not all that bad. Cool, right? 51 in Greensboro, 53 in Reidsville, and Burlington at 54. Winds out of the northeast for the most part, 5 to 10 miles per hour. We will see that go on the increase for your Saturday. So lows tonight, 34. Clouds go on the increase, then a high of 53 for your Saturday. Here's the problem. It's going to be windy, cold, and then a very slight chance of a shower. I think most of this is east, maybe Alamance County, parts of Davidson, Randolph, east toward the coast. And really, as you head more toward the triangle, I think we have a better chance of that rain than anywhere else. Nothing happening right now, of course, with rain, but if you go out to the wider shot, this is a low pressure center that is starting to lift up from the Florida area. That will help us with winds. And then, as we mentioned, some of that rain makes it back to the west. 7-day forecast showing low 50s tomorrow. Turn our clocks back Saturday night, then 60 and gradual clearing on Sunday. It's sunny in upper 60s and low 70s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Normal high this time of the year is 65.
Flooding, water damage, and mold. Large or small, a burst pipe can leave behind an expensive mess. As we head into the colder months, experts say there are steps you can take now to prevent your pipes from freezing. Lee Amos is the president of Master Plumbers Heating and Cooling in Greensboro. He tells me his company starts to see a lot of frozen pipes and failing water heaters this time of year. He says the average expense of a pipe burst is roughly $10,000.
If left untreated without knowledge, it can cause a lot of other issues, fungus and things to grow inside of your home. It can cause a lot of sicknesses and illnesses, a lot of health issues for folks.
With the temperatures up and down over the next week, Amos says it's a good idea to have a professional make sure your pipes are insulated properly.
It does have an impact. You know, groundwater temperature does change a little bit, and that's when it really does shock a lot of your appliances or your water heaters, things like that.
Other ways to prevent frozen pipes include opening kitchen and bathroom cabinet doors and keeping a constant temperature inside the home during the day and at night. Close foundation vents and let your faucets drip overnight. You can also disconnect your garden hose from outdoor faucets. So it could be pretty crazy and messy if you get one of those burst pipes.
All right, so Tanya and I talked, I know.
We have this in common.
Yes. I did not know this until
y'all.
Moments ago. It happened to both of us, yes. And it was my very first house that I ever owned, so I didn't know. And we had about 3 nights in a row of single-digit overnight lows, and the power went out. Oh. So what you're supposed to do, for all of you at home, is to turn off the main that goes to your house and then drain your pipes, right? Open them up. I didn't know that. So I left, stayed with a friend for a few nights till the power came back on, came back, and it was raining in my house. The ceiling was dangling, the 3 inches of standing water, and the house was about 5 months old, brand new construction. So Tanya, that was about $25,000.
Okay, so mine was, we moved in and it was a week later that the freeze happened and our garden hose was hooked up because we were, excited new homeowners. You put everything together, right? And we did not unhook the garden hose and all of a sudden I could hear water. I was like, what is that water? Oh, it's coming from the bedroom. Yeah. So it's expensive.
How did you all recover? I mean,
insurance, thank goodness. I mean, back then I paid whatever my deductible was, but he said it was about $28,000 in damage.
Yeah. Wow.
So the builder felt so bad for us that he came back and helped us fix it.
Wow.
Because it was 1 week since we had just bought the house. Right?
1 week.
1 week. Oh. And then all that stuff happened. It was awful.
Well, listen to them. Listen to their testimonies. Because I'm going to make sure I don't do that.
Now I'm worried that something's going to happen at my house.
Yeah.
Oh, you just, as long as you undo the hoses. I mean, Tanya's right. That's the first. In fact, I literally texted my wife, did we do that yet? And she said, yes, we did it. And so that's step one. But the other, if power's going to go out and it's going to be in like single digits like that, you have to make sure that you drain your pipes.
Yeah.
Just turn on the spigot, turn off the main, and let the water come out till there's nothing left.
And also, if you're about to like go out of town or something, it's okay to like just leave a little drip. I remember one time I was out of town staying in a hotel because we had storm coverage during the winter, and I was like, I'm not going to be at my apartment for a week. I called my apartment and they went in and turned my my faucets on for me.
There's nothing worse than when Tanya's right. I walked up to my house and I was getting ready to put the key in the door and I heard like that.
Goodness.
And when I opened the door, I saw that and I literally stumbled back because I like my house was 3 months old.
That's like heartbreaking.
It was horrible.
Oh my gosh. And when you're a brand new homeowner, you don't know anything about anything.
Yeah,
right?
that's me. I'm trying to listen to you guys and now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like we've never done that.
Take notes. Take notes.
I am mental notes.
And also, you're going to survive.
Right? Yeah, you get through it.
You're going to survive.
Thank goodness for insurance. That's why we have it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, remembering your pipes, plants, and pets. And in the winter, we often hear about stray cats getting injured as they hide near car motors or other locations to keep warm. If you find a stray mama cat with kittens, it's best to just keep them together. If the kittens seem abandoned, watch over them for a few days to see if that mom comes back. You can put food and water outside, but don't leave the food out for a long time because it could attract other animals. You can also build a cat shelter using a Rubbermaid box, straw, and grocery bags for insulation so they stay warm. Well, now let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Opening arguments have begun in the case of Ahmaud Arbery, who was shot and killed while jogging through a Georgia subdivision in February 2020. Prosecutors showed cell phone video of Arbery's death, arguing it only showed a glimpse of the attack on Arbery. Arbery was shot and killed after Greg McMichael and his son Travis chased him down in their pickup truck. William Roddy Bryan joined the chase and recorded the video, which captured Travis McMichael shooting Arbery 3 times. Defense attorneys will give their opening statements later today. Actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson said his production company will no longer use real guns on movie sets. His decision follows a fatal shooting of the set of Alec Baldwin's movie Rust. Baldwin accidentally shot and killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins and wounded director Joel Souza. The two were shot when an assistant director unknowingly handed Baldwin a loaded gun, telling the actor it was safe to use. No charges have been filed in the shooting. House Democrats delayed today's vote on a newer version of President Joe Biden's social spending plan and infrastructure bill. The new version restores paid family and medical leave after it had previously been dropped from the bill. The provision was added back on Wednesday and would allow qualifying Americans to earn 4 weeks of paid leave. We will tell you how the House votes on the decision once it's made. Well, you probably noticed that gas prices are still rising at a time when we normally see them drop. That's because demand is higher as more people travel to see family and friends, and supply isn't meeting that demand. The U.S. is producing less oil now than before the pandemic started.
Have you ever sought out validation on who you are by listening to the wrong voices? Today on U Day, Coach Lamont explains why listening to the wrong voices can lead you in the wrong direction.
A tree doesn't need to be reminded that it's a tree, nor water that it's water. They are what they are and don't require validation. With this in mind, why do some seek validation on who they are from people not qualified to speak in their lives? We look for someone, anyone, to qualify us for the life we are living. This leads to listening to the wrong voices, and wrong voices can lead us in the wrong direction. Many today are stuck in the opinions of others and dwell in self-adopted facts of themselves. Pull yourself away from the mindset of validation from others. This is your moment, so allow your life to be led in the direction that your life was created to be led in. Be true to you, and that truly is the only voice that matters. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
You know, this morning I had the honor to flip the switch at Mix 99.5 to change their format over to all holiday songs. I love doing that. And every year, folks voice their opinions about their favorites and then some of the songs they can't stand. I spoke with morning co-host Matt Pencola about the most loved and hated holiday songs.
We are the Triad's Christmas station, Mix 99.5. It's Laura and Matt.
All right, today was the day, kicked off the music at Mix 99.5. That's Christmas time, right? We're doing it. Santa, Matt, same thing.
Santa Matt, hello. I'm a man now, Santa.
I hate to break it to you kids, but this is the truth. With the microphone in the beard, I love that.
No, it's good. It's the beard. No, don't
It's
mess
perfect.
with the beard, Sheldon.
Hey, tell us, all right, so let's talk about this because I know you guys do this every year. You've done it for decades. And there has to be like a top 3 most requested and most hated songs. So do people call you about this?
Oh, yeah. You get the, like, you're starting Christmas now? That's not a true representative of listeners, but I'm just saying, you're starting Christmas now, and so we get a lot of that, and then a lot of people going like, I'm never turning it off, we're going to keep this. But the song, obviously, you know this, Mariah Carey.
Oh, yeah.
Mariah Carey, the Queen of Christmas, or, depending upon your feelings.
Yeah.
Christmas in Dixie. Everybody loves that song. Everybody loves that song. And probably on the other side, it really depends. We've talked about this off air, it's Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Whether it's music or when stores put up their decorations, people get all upset too early.
Oh,
I don't
sure.
care all year long. So what kind of conversations do you get from listeners?
We get, first off, the people who generally call are excited. They're very happy. They love Christmas. We love Christmas. And, over the last 18 months, we need Christmas more than ever, right? We talked about this. And just the spirit, the happiness, the joy that it invokes, and the music and the memories that they invoke, beautiful time.
Andy Williams, Happy Holidays for me. That's the one. That's the one. All right, there you go. This is live from the Christmas Center right here. Well, live on recorded, live on tape.
Ho, ho, ho.
I like how that mic was just
I know. Well, when we put it on him, he goes, I don't know where. I said, here, just stick it on the beard.
That made it even better.
They are so much fun. I have to tell you, and you were saying that during we were watching this. They are a blast. They're hilarious off the air, hilarious on the air, and they have a great rapport. And Matt and I are roughly, well, actually, all 3 of us are roughly the same age, and so we have a lot to talk about. Just a great group of people.
Yeah, they seem very, very fun. Like they enjoy going to work every single day.
It is fun. Wouldn't that be great if your job was to just play Christmas music? And
I was literally just thinking
so
about
much
that.
Fun.
Like you could just listen to Christmas music all day. It'd be great.
Do you think you'd get tired of it though?
No.
See, that's the
I
thing.
feel like after a while you might be like, okay.
Well, if it was the same song over and over again, yeah, but I feel like there's so many Christmas songs.
There are. Well, and what they do
change
too
it.
is sometimes, they'll have commercial breaks, and they'll turn the sound down in the studio so that they can talk and not have to constantly listen to it, because that is a lot if you listen to that 8 hours a day.
How big is the catalog? Did they talk about that at all?
No,
Like
I
how
did
many
not ask them.
songs? Because there's, like you said, so many Christmas
Well, if
songs.
you think about it, because they're a radio station, they have access to every song, every Christmas song ever made. So
There's
whatever
so many
that
different
is.
genres too. Like there are country Christmas songs.
Yes.
There's 90s Christmas songs. I like the NSYNC.
Yeah, I like that one too.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep the cheer moving. American Girl dolls and the game Risk were 2 of the 3 new inductees into the National Toy Hall of Fame yesterday. The Hall of Fame looks for toys that have withstood the test of time, fostering learning, or changed toy design. The 3rd inductee is something the Hall of Fame called the most universal and oldest toy in the world. Sand. Yeah, sand. This story got us walking down memory lane, so I asked you on Facebook, what was your favorite childhood toy and why? Val Smith says, easy bake oven. It was fun cooking them little cakes. Robert Anderson wrote, Legos, ended up being an auto technician 22 years. LaTanya Miller, Teddy Ruxpin. It was just amazing to see him talk. And then Anthony wrote, hammer. Yeah, I used to knock holes in the sheetrock. Shrug emoji. But I feel that. My parents always said I was the kid that would play with the pots and the pans and different things like that, because I don't remember having a favorite toy. I was always like an artsy kid, like to put on skits or draw pictures.
Make something.
Yeah, play outside, ride my bike, stuff like that.
I did have favorite toys. In fact, I didn't know that you did this today, and my 2 cents today is on classic toys that I remember that are still around, and some of them, so stick around for that, but some of them are in the Toy Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I saw American Girl dolls on that. I loved American Girl dolls, but Barbies were my #1.
Did you have like a big collection of them?
So many.
Dream house?
It's ridiculous. Yes.
Yes.
And this is how many I had. I had created their families. They all had names. and I had logged it all and written out like, this is this family, this is the mom and dad's name and the kids' names, and then this family lived here. I mean, like, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is when my daughter
Playing Barbies with her, of course.
I'm going to play Barbies with her.
Drew had got the dream house not too long ago, and of course I had to put it together.
Did you ever have the mannequin head? I did have the head
She
where
had
it's just
that?
the head,
Where
and
you
I
do
would
makeup and
the
stuff?
makeup, and
Yeah,
then you
fix her
practice
hair.
braiding hair. I did have one of those. I put her in the bathtub, and then her hair was all messed up by the. I was like, what happened to her?
Yeah.
That's creepy looking to guys. Like little boys are like, what is that head doing?
Yes, it's kind of weird. And I actually made the mistake. Barbie hair does not work with a straightener. I tried to straighten a Barbie's hair and it just melted. Just melted.
You know how kids like to put everything in their mouths? Yeah. I used to chew on the Barbie's feet.
Wait, did all your Barbies have little indentations?
Yes, my mom would be like, that is not what this is for. And my sister would be like, keep her away from my dolls.
Your little feet were deformed.
Yeah. I used to chew on, I was pretty raw. I would cut their hair, do all
You
types
walk
of
around
weird
with a
stuff.
Barbie hanging out of your mouth, chewing on it. That's hilarious. I love that. On that note, we're going to break.
Gentlemen, consider taking your date to the movies and treat her like the queen she is by watching Spencer. The new movie about Princess Diana's decision to leave Prince Charles is in theaters, and WFMY News 2's photojournalist Manning Franks rates the movie on screen.
I had the pleasure of seeing Spencer at the closing gala of Film Fest 919 in Chapel Hill with my girlfriend. And unabashedly, this was one of my most anticipated films of the year. That gorgeously haunting trailer, that beautiful striking poster, and the rich subject matter of Princess Diana was just ready for an adaptation. So it pains me to say that it really wasn't my cup of tea.
You have to be able to do things you hate.
You hate?
There has to be two of you. There's the real one and the one they take pictures of. Diana, for the good of the country.
For the country.
Set during the Christmas holiday season of 1991, Princess Diana is trapped with the royal family at Sandringham House. During these 3 days, Diana is plagued with anxiety as the claustrophobia and constriction of the royal house begins to drown her. Diana must come to terms with the past, present, and the future before she loses her grip on her own reality. As the movie progresses, it becomes quite clear that the movie is keener on personifying the anxiety of Diana than it is telling a cohesive narrative with lush characters. Director Pablo Larraín has a very distinct vision, and I commend him for his masterful use of visual elements, from cinematography to production design, to exemplify Diana Spencer's deteriorating state of being. However, that same distinct vision gets lost in its juggling of symbolism, becoming a muddied fable too focused on her trapped mental anguish that it forgets to give vibrancy and depth to Diana, as well as the rest of the cast. It drowns itself in cold allegory, leaving the viewer at arm's length, never truly letting them in to care about what's transpiring on the screen. Despite all that criticism, Spencer holds one of the best performances of the year in Kristen Stewart's portrayal of Princess Diana. Long gone are her early Twilight days, and Spencer is the mainstream cementing of her as a truly inventive actress. Stewart's Diana is a vulnerable performance that begs you to not look away, for fear she would disappear altogether from existence. Truly a transformative, career-defining role. At the end of the day, the fable of Spencer is one that I can respect in theory, but can't really get on board with in terms of execution. So while I would encourage you to try it out, as it may be for you, I will have to give it a for you to decide. You can find Spencer playing exclusively at your local theater.
I didn't even recognize that was Kristen Stewart until halfway through. You're like, from Twilight. I've just never seen her with the blonde hair.
I mean, that's a dead ringer for her. She looks just like her.
I remember when the pictures first came out of her like playing this role. I mean, it's crazy how closely she looks like her. She
does.
Even though I know Manning, what he said, you know, he didn't think it was the best, I still do want to see it.
I want to see it too. I actually saw the commercial for the first time just a week or so ago, and I was like, that's something I would go to the theater to see.
I mean, she was such a big deal because she was, back then she was looked at as kind of the everyman's princess, you know, and I remember my next door neighbor, a girl 3 or 4 years younger than me, and I remember seeing her get up in the middle of the night because she was so excited, loved the Princess Diana, and would run downstairs and watch it. I could see it. Our houses were really close, and so a lot of people got up and watched that in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
It was really cool when she got married.
Well, I'm going to go see it.
Yes.
I am too. We can go together.
Open the camera and all you have to do is get your phone, open the camera and point it at the QR code, and a web link should pop up. This link will take you to our county by county vaccine resources on our website.
Nope, not yet, Brett.
Didn't even assess. I'm here, 1, 2, 3, didn't even assess that she had been dodging us.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, and she ended up.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, hi there. Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont.
So it's time for my 2 cents. And you know, this morning I had the honor, as they've let me do for several years now, to kick off Christmas music on Mix 99.5 when they go all Christmas music all the time. Love doing that. Gets me super sentimental about the holidays and thinking about childhood memories. So today I want to talk to you about some classic toys that I just found out were still available. I didn't even know they were still selling these things, but they were defined my childhood, maybe yours too. Take a look at the first one, the Etch-a-Sketch. It was one of my favorites, invented by a French guy, July 12, 1960. Wow, that thing's been around for 61 years. It was in the Toy Hall of Fame in 1998. I loved it because my relatives were impressed that I could actually write in cursive with an Etch-a-Sketch. A lot of good that did me in my career. Here's the next one. I love this. Light-Bright. Oh, so cool, with the little pegs of light that you poke through the black paper and they're backlit with light bulbs. What an easy idea. Debuted in 1967, invented by 2 guys at a Chicago toy company, but eventually licensed to Hasbro. That company owned everything. Now, I love to draw, and this one was so cool. Remember the spirograph? When you had the little plastic wheels, the cogs, and you could just do them in circles with different colors and make these incredible designs. So cool. Invented by a British engineer in 1965. Again, Hasbro got the rights to that. That toy company owned the world back then. It was named Toy of the Year in 1967, just 2 years after its invention. And if you're a child of the 80s, even though I was a little older at that point, I still remember these. Man, was Cabbage Patch dolls. They were huge. Remember Cabbage Patch dolls? How cool. Yes, little girls and boys loved these things. One of the top selling dolls of all time. 1982 is when it really set some industry records for sales in toys 3 years in a row. And that one, the licensing rights for that one has been passed around to everybody. That was everything from Coleco and Hasbro to Mattel and even Toys R Us at one